Hello everyone, I'm back again to make Tuesday's video, which is today, and I will get right into it. This is titled Paul's Many Trials, and we are in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, the second half, and I will finish this chapter today since I just did Monday's video for the first half. So in verse 16, he says, "Again I say, don't think that I am a fool to talk like this. But even if you do, listen to me as you would to a foolish person, while I also boast a little. Such boasting is not from the Lord, but I am acting like a fool. And since others boast about their human achievements, I will too. After all, you think you are so wise, but you enjoy putting up with fools. You put up with it when someone enslaves you, takes everything you have, takes advantage of you, takes control of everything, and slaps you in the face. I am ashamed to say that we've been too weak to do that." So here he's continuing in the same theme that we discussed for Monday, where these super apostles, these fake teachers, are in the churches, have infiltrated, are taking full advantage of these believers. They're preaching heresy, false teachings, and he is writing them this letter, rebuking them about this. And so basically he is going to go into his whole heritage in a moment, but he is, really kind of, being very firm with them to shake them up about they are being overcome by, the pedigree or what, of these apostles that are speaking to them. And these aren't apostles like, the true apostles of Jesus Christ, like Peter, John, all them. This is just teachers who are new teachers that are called themselves, apostles, and they're spreading false teaching. And in the previous video, at the very end, it said, in the end, they will get the punishment their wicked deeds deserve. So it's clearly stating that they're false teachers, they're not Christians, and they're going to receive what they deserve because they're leading them astray. Most likely for money is what I'm supposing. And so then, going on, he says, "But whatever they dare to boast about, I'm talking like a fool again. I dare to boast about it too. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they descendants of Abraham? So am I. Are they the servants of Christ? I know I sound like a madman, but I have served him far more. I have worked harder, I have worked harder, been put in prison more often, been whipped times without number, and faced death again and again. 5 different times the Jewish leaders have given me 39 lashes. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. Once I spent a whole night and a day adrift at sea. I have traveled on many long journeys. I have faced dangers from rivers and from robbers. I have faced dangers from my own people, the Jews, as well as from Gentiles. I have faced danger in the cities, in the deserts, and on the seas, and I have faced danger from men who claim to be believers but are not. I have worked hard and long, enduring many sleepless nights. I have been hungry and thirsty. I have often gone without food. I have shivered in the cold without enough clothing to keep me warm." So I'm going to stop there. Notice when he's going through the pedigree, he's saying, okay, are they Israelites? Well, so am I. Are they from Abraham? So am I. Because they put a lot of stock into if someone's from Abraham, the descendant of Abraham. And really, the Bible talks about, especially in Romans, that anyone that is a true believer in Jesus Christ is from the true line of Abraham, okay? So they're talking about the physical bloodline of it, but spiritually, if you have belonged to Jesus Christ, you have been grafted in. They use like the example of an olive tree or fig tree, and you've been grafted in, and you are now in the lineage of a true Abrahamic faith, which is faith, by faith. It's faith in God through faith, not through works, okay? So notice when he gets to, are they servants of Christ? There is no answer because they're not. They are false teachers. And then he goes on about all the terrible things that happened to him. And this is no small thing. You know, we may read through this like as a list, but this is no small thing. If you think about it, false preachers are not usually going to go through this for something that's false, that they just want money for. They're going to move on out of the way. They're not going to go through this. Really, people who truly believe in something are the ones that put up with martyrdom. And so he is really putting up with severe abuse. And keep in mind that this was Saul before he became Paul and was named Paul, you know, and that he had persecuted the church. So here's a man putting up with all these terrible things because he believes so strongly in the gospel of Jesus Christ and feels so much for the personal churches that he has ministered to and in. So I'm sure that these other guys are not doing that. And then going on and finishing up in verse 28. Then besides all of this, I have the daily burden of my concern for all the churches. Who is weak without my feeling that weakness? Who is led astray and I do not burn with anger? If I must boast, I would rather boast about the things that show how weak I am. God, the Father of our Lord Jesus, who is worthy of eternal praise, knows I am not lying. When I was in Damascus, the governor under King Aretas kept guards at the city gates to catch me. I had to be lowered in a basket through a window in the city wall to escape from them. And that's the end of the chapter. So now he's saying, just like parents do, when our kids go astray, we feel deep, sadness. We feel a burden. And he's saying the same for these churches. He said he feels, when they're weak, he feels weak in his heart. When they're led astray, does he not burn with anger? We as parents feel the very same thing, or grandparents feel the very same thing, because we have a deep love for our children or grandchildren, just like Paul has for the church. And then he's going on and he's saying, my boast is in the Lord, in my weakness. Paul at one time had asked for his personal thorn in his side, which is probably his eyesight, to be cured. And God said, no, my grace is sufficient in weakness. And so he has to rely, instead of relying on himself, he has to rely on Christ. And that's what Christ wants, because if we're the ones doing it, we're pulling ourselves up from our bootstraps, or we're just showing grit or determination, that's just self. And so eventually we will run out of self and we will get to rock bottom. So having that eternal strength is through Jesus Christ. So if we boast about anything, we should boast in the Lord, because he is the one. He says, you can do nothing apart from me. And he's talking about spiritually, you can do nothing of lasting value if it is apart from him. So always boast in him and not yourself. That is the end of today's video, and I hope you guys have a great day. I am going to go on and record Wednesday's video just because I have my young granddaughter coming tomorrow, and she comes in the morning. So I won't have any time to film the video since she keeps me busy. But I will release that on Wednesday. I hope that you guys have a great evening. God bless.